Right guys, tutorial number 4 on this piece of kit from Numark. It's known as the Mix Track Pro. In video number 4, we're going to look at the scratch feature on the platter, also the scratch button here, and the cue and play pause. The track we're going to be using is called Higher. It's by Deception. I'll put a link in the description. First of all, if we disengage the scratch feature, press play. With my hand on the top of the platter, we can hear the tune speed up. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, we can hear the tune slow down. Engaging the scratch feature, now we can see that's highlighted with an LED. I do the same thing, put my hand on the platter, and we can stop the track. Also, we can start to scratch the sound that is directly underneath the point at which I stopped that track. I can move the track back by moving anti-clockwise. I can put the track forward by moving clockwise. If I take my finger or fingers or hand off the platter, the track will carry on going. Again, scratch feature disengaged. Scratch feature engaged. Press play pause. What's happened now by pressing play pause at that point in the track? When I press play pause again, the track will start off from the point at which I pressed play pause. If I press cue, what has happened now, the track has gone right back to the beginning of the track, or alternatively, it would have gone back to the point at which I would have set the cue point. So if I press play pause, press cue, it will go back to the point at which I set the cue point. And for this video, I set the cue point at the beginning of the track. So if we have a look, we can see there I set the cue at the beginning of the track. What we'll do, we'll have a look at the software now. By the way, the software I'm using is Tractor LE. So you can see the cue point down here. So if I press play pause, cue, play pause, and cue. Now if I want to, using the scratch feature, I've now got my hand on the platter and I'm going to move the track forward. At any point now, I can press cue. You'll notice now the cue has moved from the beginning to the point at which I set it. If I now take my finger off the platter, press play pause, the track will start. If I now press cue, it will go back to the second point where I put that cue point, which is there. So what this is telling me is that I can, at any point in that track, set a cue point. So for example, if I move it forward, press cue again on the hardware, we have a new cue point. Press play pause, and away we go. Press cue again, and we start. Also, if we go and have a look once more at the hardware, I can press cue, keep my finger on the cue button, and the track will carry on playing. Take my finger off, it stops, it goes back to that cue point, beg your pardon. So again, play, back to the cue point, play, back to the cue point, play. At the same time, I've got my finger on the cue. If I now press at the same time play pause, the track will carry on playing. Hope that's been a help. Tutorial number 4, practice and enjoy.